Hello and welcome to my KnitVlog. This is episode 8. You can call me Marie. We are back home. I am home alone with the children, the two youngest ones. My 9-year-old is at her room listening to music and talking about clearing up her room. I think it's going to be more like, listening to music and drawing. My 5-year-old is looking at the TV. He's watching things on Disney. My husband is at work, and I think the two oldest daughters, they are somewhere in the world. I think there was one is maybe she's at work, and the number 2 most likely is at home with her boyfriend, where she practically lives. So I cast on for something new yesterday evening. Right now my life as a knitter is a lot of unraveling, so I decided to unravel 2 projects yesterday. I haven't shown you any of them, but it takes a while to unravel things, and when I had unraveled those 2 things, I decided I kind of felt like I didn't really fancy any of the things that I was doing. Felt like casting on something new and thinking about, this is a present. It's a slipover for a baby who's due, I think, month of October sometimes. It's my boss who's having his 3rd child. So I have a lot of the presents I've made for babies in Denmark, we call them barselsgaver. It's a gift you give people when they go off work and have their child. I know my boss, who's a man, he's not actually giving birth. You say we are pregnant, then I'm on that team that, no, we are not pregnant. The woman is pregnant. She's the one with the stretch marks and the nausea and all the horrible things, but also all the good things, this wonderful experience pregnancy is. So, but yeah, this is a maternity gift. I'm not sure that's a thing. The newer generations, young people here in Denmark have baby showers just like they do in the US and a lot of the English-speaking countries, where they do like gender reveals and all that stuff. But we don't have a tradition for that in Denmark, so I've never had a gender reveal party, and actually we didn't know the sex of the 2 oldest girls, because at that point it cost extra to go to a clinic and make them, make the I don't know, find out what sex the child had. So we didn't know that the 2 oldest girls were girls until they were born. But today technology is so much more advanced, so we knew in advance what sex the 2 youngest children were, and yeah, things change, don't they? But one thing that never changes is that babies need clothes. And when a child is born October in Denmark, that's when in Denmark we have a saying that all the months that contains an R, you can wear wool. Babies should wear wool. So that's January, February, March, April, then May, June, July, August is non-woolly months. So September, October, November, December are woolly months. So babies need wool. And I am doing this slip over, and I'm going to put a note with the slip over when I give it to the dad that this should be washed by hand. I don't think his wife is a knitter, but I'll make a simple instruction how to wash this. And that might be, you know, frowned upon. Maybe some people think that I should buy something really, you know, simple to wash like this. This is a Veta from Kokholmsk, which is a sock yarn, and you can't mess that up. But I have chosen to make the slip over that I cast on for yesterday evening in this Martian wool that I bought at a fiber festival on Fanø by two lovely Italian ladies, and I can't remember the name of the firm that they came from, but I just fell in love with the color, and I have knitted a dress for myself in this yarn with a lace which was hand dyed, so I could knit it on a 4.5mm needle. I am knitting it alone on a 3mm needle. So this is one of the threads. I'm doing these almost, I don't know what you call them, low there aren't a lot of color difference between the two yarns. This is the other one, which I have absolutely no clue what it is. I can feel that they are both very woolly, and I asked the father of this coming child what his wife's favorite color was, and I know they've been together for, I guess, more than 10 years. And he just, you know, he didn't have a clue. He couldn't do like, I think it's blue or I think it's green. It was just like, I have no clue. He was totally clueless. He did not know which color she would love this thing to be in. So I'm doing it in neutrals because that's also very much in fashion here in Denmark. And yeah, I have a child calling. Give me a sec. Sorry about that. He just wanted to see something else on the TV. And apparently he had been so occupied by what he actually was seeing that he didn't see me go right outside. He is just in the room right behind me, so I am like 10 meters away. Typical. Well, the thing is about this maternity present is that I know the last couple of times I've done a maternity gift, it's been for first time parents. So then I was like, you know, I can do a bit of I make these small shoes, and I'm going to make those too because I always give the shoes. And I've made for 3 of the latest presents, I've made cardigans. No, two cardigans. Another slip over, which I hated because it was a broken rib pattern, and I thought it just took forever. Then I kind of hated the needles sometimes. When I start something on needles that I dislike, I kind of, die a bit in the process. But then I made a present for a baby, which were their 5th girl number 5. But they didn't know the sex of the child. They had decided that they didn't want to know the sex until the child was born. So I did a blanket in neutral colors, and because I was like, blankets, and I knew 2 of the older sisters were in the same kindergarten as my son, so I could see what kind of colors that this mom preferred, which was, those nude, rose, cafe latte colors, all beige and soft colors. So I did a blanket in those colors, very sand, and I had the yarn in my yarn collection. This is also from my yarn collection, if you didn't get that, because I'm trying to use some of my yarns, which is not going very well because I just bought new yarn, 4 days ago. Yeah. I don't buy yarn without a purpose, so I never buy just one skein of anything. I don't do that. I have like not a specific plan, but like, oh, this would be a nice dress. I do a lot of dresses. Actually, I am at the state where I have so many knitted dresses that I am considering knitting things for the older children and their boyfriends, because both the older daughters, my eldest is she's going to turn 21 at the end of August, and the second, number 2, she turned 18 in January. So that's the one who's practically living with her boyfriend, and the oldest one also practically lives with her boyfriend, but normally she lives at her father, because her father lives very close to her workplace. So, and of course there are also workplaces here, but she really likes working in Lego house, so it just makes sense. And we have the 2 smaller children, so there is a big difference from having 2 big teenagers living at home and having a 9 and a 5-year-old living at home. Let's just say it like that. And they are young women, they should live their own lives. Yeah. So I am doing maternity presents, let's call it that. If somebody knows a better word, please write a comment below and let me know, because just like a lot of other things, there is a lot of culture culture involved in these presents, like what size gift do you give, who do you give to, how much should you give, who don't you give gifts to, and so there is a lot of culture in this. So yeah, and in some cultures, you celebrate the arrival of a child in one way, and in other countries you do it in another way. And in Denmark, we do like the christening, and then the workplace give them maternity leave presents, and sometimes we give our neighbors maternity gifts when they have the child. We don't give anything for the christening. That's more of a family and close friends thing. So yeah, and there is in Denmark you can discuss presents a lot, and maybe also in some groups of people, because there are always, what is the protocol? What is the right thing to do? Would it be frowned upon if I did this, or if I did this? Will they be happy about this present? Will they understand the message that I'm trying to give, or the message of love it should be? Why would you else give a present if it wasn't to please anyone? If you're going to give a present that's having a non-love based message, maybe you shouldn't give it. So I know a lot of podcasters do baby knitting, and then they have like a box of things that they can give when they have maternity gifts coming up. I'm the kind of person who knits the presents when I know that a baby is coming, because I think I've experienced that it kind of comes in like waves. Then you have a lot of maternity. How many presents did I do last year? I should have done 6, but I only did 5, because the last present I didn't finish in time, and I was, all the energy and the project was gone, and it wasn't anybody close. It was just like, now I'm doing this. No, I did 6. I just forgot, one of my husband's colleagues had a baby last year also, and I also did a maternity gift for them. Yes, I did. So that makes... Was that the 5th or the 6th? I can't remember. I think I did a lot last year, because I haven't done maternity gifts for years. So I don't think I'm going to do, hopefully, a lot of maternity gifts sometime soon. Well, maybe I'm going to do that, because my sister, who's coming by tomorrow, just asked me if I had some of the small shoes or booties, or what you would call them, and I don't, and so she had to just go to a store, because my sister doesn't knit. I've tried to teach her twice. I've tried to teach my sister how to knit. Twice she's got the hang of it, and I've been like, now just go home and practice. And we are not going to do anything crazy. It was just like scarves in pure knitting, no purling, no increasing, no decreasing, nothing crazy, no slipped, nothing, just back and forth. and each and every time either I have finished the project or it might have just disappeared, because I know that knitting takes a lot of time and it takes an effort, but if you learn to love it, or you just love it, then you know, and then you can't. I just had a Danish podcaster say, to me, knitting is not a hobby, it's a part of my life, and I guess that's it. Knitting is a lifestyle to me. I knit everywhere. I just, I just made a reel on Instagram. I will write my Instagram name right down here, where we went to what do you call them? An amusement park, I guess. And I decided to film myself knit in silly places at this amusement park. And the most challenging filming was knitting at the carousel. But I did it. I knitted at the carousel just for the fun of it. I knitted, of course I knitted when standing in line. I knitted waiting for my son. I knitted, they have like these small cars that where the child sits in front, and there is kind of like a steering wheel that they can sit and yank in, and he did that, and I sat in the back and I knitted. Of course I did. And actually a small girl saw me driving around in this truck thing, and then she yelled, "Look, Mom, she's knitting," which I found so hilarious. But I often hear children yelling when I stand, sit, walk around knitting. "Look, Mom, she's knitting." So I think it's, it's nice. I don't see a lot of knitters around. I often see reels and people taking pictures of themselves knitting on the beach and in the park and a lot of other places. Of course, I've seen people knit in the train, but that's not, controversial or anything. If you knit on the train, I don't think anybody would frown upon that. When you pull out your bright orange mohair dress, and I just, I stand like this and I knit, and then I tuck the end of the dress, if it's long enough, then I tuck it under my arm, and then I knit. Then it's no problem standing in line or doing anything knitting at the same time. So there are no excuses not to, use the time in a sensible way. So I hope that this couple will use this small thing, because these are so not my colors. I would never ever have put them together. I think it looks nice, but it's just too plain for me. But when I can't, when I don't know people, I need to just go with plain. And I don't know the sex of the child, and they could be the kind of people who don't want to know the sex, because I've known the sex of the babies the other times that I've done maternity, except from the neutral backline blanket where not even the parents knew. And I prefer to have knitted the gift before the child is born, because This is a size 3-6 months. I've just found, I've found a pattern in my collection of books and used the there's supposed to be like a lace pattern twisted something on here on the slip over, and I'm not going to do that because I'm doing stripes, and I'm not that good at mixing different techniques like a lace and then stripes, and I've seen people do it and I think it looks wonderful, but I just don't do it, and I'm always afraid that's going to look like, so she ran out of yarn and then she started doing stripes because there weren't enough yarn or what, Stupid. Yes, I am. I have my own little crazy ideas. This popcorn brain goes out in directions that I don't always control, and I get distracted and I get bored, and I am so far from perfect as you might be able to get, and I am just happy about that because there's nothing. I'm not. I know I'm going to change, of course, all people change, but I'm not going to change that unless it makes sense to me. And I like bright and colorful things, and sometimes I do neutrals. Also for myself, I have like a gray and a brown cardigan, and I have a lot of base layers that are just black, because then I can put a bright color on top, but I'm not crazy when it comes to colors, but and though I see a lot of podcasters who do these amazing, very color coordinated things where they do, when they go wild, they do like a bluish green thing, but normally they would do like nude and beige and cafe latte, and this is iced coffee, not without the ice is melted. And now it's also getting a bit hot, which is, when it's coffee, I'll drink it cold, hot, somewhere in between. I love coffee. I'm afraid that it might be, well, not a problem. Yeah. So I'm doing this beige gray thing for my colleague, and it's going to be very small. I think it's very small. I just, that's also the thing about doing baby knitting. How small are these small people? No, my 5-year-old, he weighs just around 20 kilos, and he's a small 5-year-old. So my 9-year-old is also quite small, in the range of normal, but small, small, just like me. I'm also normally small, normal small. I don't know, that sounds off. Well, I am 165 centimeters tall, so that's not impressive, but I can normally reach the top shelf in the cupboards in the kitchen, so I'll make do. I can you see? It's going to be fine. Very neutral, very stripy. Hope they appreciate it, or else don't tell me. Don't tell me I spent a lot of time on knitting something that you didn't appreciate. I love the term knit-worthy. I normally knit for myself, but you know, considering maybe I have a sweater for my husband in among my UFOs. I have the yarn for a sweater for my 9-year-old, which is in my collection. But most of my yarn are for me. Yeah. The blanket I showed you last week is officially for Carl, but let's see if he wants it when it's done. You know, blankets can take anything from weeks till months till years for me to make. So I have blankets which is, you know, I've been, you know, I think the last one I finished took me 3 years to make. Adult size blankets, that is. Baby blankets, you know, depending on how preoccupied I am by the project and, you know, needle size and techniques. I've never done the lacy blankets. I've just done I've done a lot of domino blankets. I've done like blankets with a very simple structured pattern. Yeah. So I think blankets are nice for babies and they are nice for the home, but they take a lot of time to do. So, yes. I think our time for today is up. I hope that you didn't get too distracted by the break in the middle. Let's hope that I won't be, what do you call it? Disturbed next time I sit down to talk to you. And as always, I hope you had the time to sit down and relax and take a break with me, just listening to me yapping about anything and all things. And I hope to see you again. Remember, if you don't already do so, subscribe, give me a like, or leave a comment. I love reading the comments. I read them all, and I also respond to all of them. If I do not respond to your comment, please write me on Instagram, because then I will try to figure out why your comment got lost, because I have like an app where I can get all the comments in, and then it's very easy for me to answer the comments. So it's very smart and very practical. So I hope that you, if you are somewhere where it's nice and warm, that you enjoy the days of sun and fun, and you get some knit on. Oh my god, that was awful. I'll see you next time.